What's up, everybody? I'm Michael.
And I'm Amanda.
And today we're going to have a candid conversation on why we feel like we should be further along.
So we started our YouTube channel in 2013 and we were dating then, and we just wanted to help people with relationships because we were trying to date God's way and no one else around us was. And we noticed that our channel started taking off, but we stopped filming videos in 2015, like the whole year of 2015. Maybe we did one video, maybe.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, and people would ask us like, where did you guys go? Why haven't you been doing videos? I miss your videos. And it just wasn't a priority to us. And now that we're in 2019, I totally regret that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we've recognized, wow, we have the opportunity to serve people. We have the opportunity to grow our brand. We have an opportunity to grow our businesses. And we have an opportunity to just get the message out of godly relationships and all of that. And even with our personal brands, like my Instagram account, my blog, all of that, I feel like we should be further along. And I think that we took a dip that year that we didn't, we just weren't working like this. We were focused on other things. And I think I was getting a little bit discouraged because of, I see other people who always remain consistent. And because they remain consistent, they're further along in their goals, they're further along in their dreams. And it's not necessarily that I want to be where they are, but more so I want to realize my potential. So I was asking Michael to encourage me this morning.
Yeah.
And you didn't really encourage me, you more so like kicked my butt.
Yeah. So what is it that you feel like you want to accomplish that we haven't yet?
I think for me, the biggest thing has been just like getting out of our neighborhood. And I understand that the more people, the wider the audience you have, the more opportunity you have to grow your business. And knowing that and taking that big gap made me feel like, oh, now it's an uphill battle. Now we're trying to make up for lost time. And so my thought was, I would just love to be out of this neighborhood by now, because like we aren't in the hood, but we're real close to it.
We're kind of in the hood.
We're really close to it.
Like Papa John's doesn't even deliver to our house.
Okay, so but our house it's a good house.
Our house is nice.
Our house is good. It's just not in a good area. And I want my kids to have a different upbringing that I had. I want my kids I want our kids. I was just speaking personally.
Yeah.
But I want our kids to, have a different education than I had. I want them to be around different neighbors than I grew up around. And just have a different idea of what's normal. And so I would just love to be out this neighborhood.
Yeah, but like, think about it though. After we get out of this neighborhood, which is really possible, like, what becomes the finish line for you then?
See, I think that's the tricky thing, because I always like move the mile marker. I think whenever I was 18, I used to think like, oh, I'm doing pretty well, because when I was 18, I felt like I was figuring myself out. I didn't feel behind. But now that I'm 25, you're 26, you're turning 27 this year, I'm turning 26 this year, I had a quarter life crisis when I turned 25, and I thought to myself, I really think I should be further along by now. And so for me, I think I'm always moving the mile marker, and so whenever I hit my goal, I'm already setting the next one.
Yeah.
So for me, it's I want to realize my potential, and I see my potential, and when I'm not meeting my potential, I feel like I'm behind.
Yeah.
Not behind other people, but behind the best version of myself.
Right. But like, you have to understand, like what I mentioned earlier is that if you met your potential now, you would actually become depressed.
Why?
Because, think about it. Like, imagine peaking at 26.
That would be really depressing. like I peaked at 26, I'll be like 35. Yo, when I was 26 though.
Yeah.
I was 26.
Yeah, like I believe that there are so many, like we have friends that are very, 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 very successful.
And rich.
And
we got rich friends.
We got to make a whole bunch of money. And at the end of the day, even those individuals like say like, man, I feel like I should be further along here. I feel like this isn't going fast enough. We're going to hire these people to do A, B, C because we didn't do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, they are living the lives that many people dream of, but they still don't even feel like they arrived. And I feel like it's just a lie that many people believe, is that you get to this point where you just arrive. And guess what? If you do get to that point, then oftentimes it's just like, well, what do I do now? You know what I mean? We have friends that, I know someone who makes a whole bunch of money, and that individual is bored. And so it's like, well, what do you do when your dreams come true? What do you do, when things are going well? You know what I mean? For some people, they just find something else to be frustrated about discontent with. You know what I mean?
You made me want to punch you. I'm like, stop. But I'm like, keep going.
You know what I mean? And so, you got to think from, we have the privilege of having a network of people around us that are doing big things. And so we don't have to hypothesize on what could potentially happen whenever we reach our goals, because we could just
look at them.
You know what I mean?
Their example, not learn by experience.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so at the end of the day, you have to, when I see that, I just think to myself, even if I had everything that they had, there still may be things that I would want to change and I'd be content with. And so I might as well just be content now. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If I'm gonna accomplish all these goals and hit all these numbers and stuff like that, then and still feel this way, then I might as well just learn how to be really good and content now where we are, because we've still made an unbelievable amount of progress over the last 12 months.
We made a huge amount of progress. Okay, so how do I practically pursue contentment?
I would just say that over the course of time, maybe we didn't film videos from 2015 to 2016, but maybe we became more of the people we needed to be, so that way whenever we filmed videos, we had
more to pour out. You know what I mean? Instead of pouring out, theory or hypothesis or stuff that really didn't help people, and then people are unsubscribing from our channel because we're not giving them value. It's maybe we just took a year to invest in ourselves, you know what I mean? And so perspective, you know what I mean? There's that, so I would say not comparing, and I would just say understanding that God's gonna do what he's gonna do. You know what I mean? I have a question.
Okay.
So how do you balance you need to work harder, you need to do more, you actually need to hustle, stop blaming it on God, versus being content where God has you? Because some of it's no, you actually do need to work harder. It's because you were lazy. It's because you weren't doing what you were supposed to do. Now you're reaping the consequences. And some of it is no, you actually have to trust in God, and this is part of God's plan for you. How do you make a balance between that?
I mean, I believe patience plays a huge part in that. Whew. You have to be patient. You're looking at me I love you, but shut up. It's you can't expect to have it all just by being consistent in even a short amount of time. You have to be patient. You know what I mean? What's the rush? We're no,
that's true. That's true.
And there is hustle and there is grind. You know what I mean? That comes with that. You know what I mean? For sure. But at the end of the day, most people, especially our age, are looking at people who are literally 10 years, 15 years older than them, or have just been doing things longer than them, even if they are younger, and you're comparing your results to theirs, and it's just y'all are in a completely different game. It's just a completely different game. And so you just have to be patient, stop comparing and run your race. You know what I mean? And that's not Christianese. That's helping people to keep their sanity. You know what I mean? So that's what I'd say.
So how do you know the difference between working hard and trusting in God? Because you just told me stop comparing, but it's what's the balance? Is it that how do you know this is the time to hustle harder, or this is the time to just understand and trust in God?
I don't think it has to be either or.
Okay.
I think that you could be hustling while trusting in God. It's not
that's a good mentality. It doesn't have to be either or.
That's why I think that's why I didn't answer your question well, is because I was confused on why you made it either or.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think like that. I know I think like that sometimes. It has to be black and white.
Really?
You're waiting on God, so you ain't got to do nothing. Be patient, be content with your portion, and then it breeds let me lay back and watch God move. But it's more so no, you can work hard and trust God in the process.
Yeah, and watch him move in the work.
That's good, bro.
I mean,
That's good.
I mean, it's like, yeah, I'm trying to be healthier. Like, which one should I do? Should I like eat better or should I exercise?
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? Like, like that, like, and so when people are like, should I like trust the process with God or should I like hustle and work hard? It's just like, what are you talking about? Like, you do both.
That's
you know
really
what I mean? Like, what do you have?
That's
like,
really good.
like, what do you have to trust God about if you're not working?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
that's real good. See, this is why he's a pastor. This is why he gets my life on the regular.
So, I mean, like, you just hustle and work like crazy and do what God's told you to do to the best of your ability.
Yes.
What happens is many times, like, sometimes you're not doing sometimes you're trying to do what other people are doing and not what God told you to do. And then it's just like, now you have a problem trusting God because you don't even know what God told you to do this, but you're just trying to like copy and emulate what other people are doing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, they're doing it. That looks like a good idea. So I'm going to do it too.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, you hustling in the wrong direction.
Ooh. Hustling in the wrong direction, babe. Yeah. Snatching edges. Are y'all's edges snatched? Because my edges snatched. They snatched all the way. The way. So what's the big takeaway?
I think that the big takeaway is understanding that no matter that if you feel like you should be further along, that's not like a goal issue, it's a heart issue.
My eyes are actually watering.
Yeah.
My eyes are actually watering. That's like I wasn't expecting to say that.
It's not a goal issue, it's a heart issue. So you have to understand that if you're dealing with that, you could actually hit your goals and still be feeling the same exact thing. And so you just have to fix it now so that whenever you hit your goals, they're actually enjoyable.
So what are some like practical ways to just build gratitude into your life?
I think looking at like focusing less on like how far you have to go and focusing more on how far you've come. It's like, good. You know, it's like that quote that people say all the time, like, I may not be where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. Like, you have to be careful because success could either breed more hustle or it could breed laziness. You know what I mean? And you don't want it to breed laziness. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, focus less on, you know, oh, we're not here, and focus more on like, man, look at how far we've come. You know what I mean? Appreciating what you have. Like, sure, we don't have 100,000 YouTube subscribers today, but we have like 12,000 who really rock with us. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's like telling the pastor down the street, like, stop focusing on this mega church and pastor the people that are coming and faithful every single weekend. Amen. Like, these are people, these are souls too. You know what I mean? Amen. And it's just like, whether it be on Instagram or whatever. I mean, it's just like, we got like tens of thousands of people. Like, we have like a decent sized county.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but like some people are listening, they're like, well, I ain't got all that. So how can...
Yeah, but what do you have? You do have a circle of friends that like you have like influence over. You know what I mean? You do have like somebody that you can like disciple. Like, you have a small group. Like, it's like, the thing is, that's why people get messed up, is because they think like, oh, once I hit a number, then like it'll feel good. Like, man, if I just get the 10K and I can get the swipe up, you know what I mean? And it's just like, listen, like like, you actually get better results telling people to DM you, you know what I mean? And like, you know what I mean? And being able to have conversations with people that way, you know what I mean? Rather than like a swipe up that can sometimes feel impersonal, you know what I mean? Like, I just understand that you know what it is? We've hit certain goals and like been really, really happy and joyful for like 3 seconds and then become less content. You just have to like understand that you could hit certain goals and like still not be content because it's not a goal issue, it's a heart issue.
And then, you just read about gratitude by looking at how far you've come and looking at what's already in your hand and seeing what you already have. And thanking God for that instead of thinking about what you don't have and where you're not. Yeah. So even when it comes to insecurity, it's just like, instead of focusing on all that you're not, focus on all that you are. Yeah. So I hope I
have something else too. I mean, it's like the same thing. It's so funny because people like dog Adam and Eve. You know what I mean? But it's like they had all these trees in the garden they could have eaten.
I literally wrote about this in my book.
Really?
You're all up in my book.
All up in it? Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm just snatching edges.
You're snatching it.
It's just like, with Adam and Eve, they had all these trees in the garden that they could eat from, but they were focused on the one tree they couldn't.
Do you want to write my book for me? You want me to just like rewrite it? Because you just
It's just like they're focused, and I mean the same thing happens with people in marriages, right?
Yeah.
It's just like
That's real. That's
God's
real.
giving you this one person for you to just love, and you can just like enjoy that person to the fullest ability.
Yeah.
And like some people still are just like, but this person has this or that person has, you know what I mean? And it's just like, what has God already given you? You know what I mean? It's just like,
That's so good.
you just, that's what I'm saying. It's just, it's not a goal issue. It's not a once I hit this, once I hit that, once I do this, once I do that. Like, so the way to fix it is gratitude,
Yeah.
appreciation for where you've come.
Yeah.
And then having a less entitled mentality
Yeah.
so that, God can, who's ever faithful with little, God will bless you with more. But sometimes being faithful is just being appreciative.
Amen. Amen. Well, we hope that this video blessed you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't even look at y'all the whole time. I'm just talking to Amanda.
Yeah. Appreciate what you got. Don't focus on everything that you don't have. Focus on everything that God has already given you and be grateful for that. That way, no matter what goals you hit or what goals you don't hit, you're always just so appreciative of the life that you have and the opportunities that God has given you. So we hope that this video blessed you.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that we can help more people like you and you. Click the link below. And until next time, we will see you later. Love y'all.
Bye.